When I was younger, I lived in a neighborhood full of kids around my age, and every summer I was with them every single day. One of my friends in particular, who I called my best friend, was named Jamie Chapman. We were neighbors, so of course we spent the most time together, and it was really easy to just walk across the bushes, and there I was at my best friend's house. How much better can you get? I got my first scar scraping my knee as I skidded onto her driveway. She taught me how to ride a bike with no training wheels, and taught me how to hopscotch backwards, sideways, and forwards. She was just a year older than me, but she knew anything and everything from roasting a s'more to doing a backflip on the trampoline. Being the best friends we were, we liked to learn new things together, as well as challenging each other as part of a game. Jamie's parents were pretty wealthy, which allowed Jamie to have many fun things, such as a trampoline, extra bikes for her friends to ride, and even a loft in the garage that her dad built, which at the time to us was a secret hideout. However, there was one thing that we loved the most to do in the summer, and that was swimming in Jamie's huge pool. Mind you, at the time it was just an above-the-ground round pool, but being as young as we were, everything was much bigger at the time. On a hot summer June day, I was 6 at the time, Jamie being 7. We decided we wanted to go for a swim. This was the day I almost died. Now, usually her mom, Mary, would sit on the porch and watch us through the screen doors, but Jamie knew her mom was very busy at that particular day. So we decided to not ask her, knowing she would have said no, and instead just took the cover off the pool ourselves. After doing so, I knew I had to put my floaties on. For being 6, I still couldn't swim all that well. Jamie, being a year older, however, just learned how to swim on her own. I ran through the bushes home excitedly and looked in the garage, but could find my floaties nowhere. I came back to Jamie upset, telling her I couldn't swim anymore because they were missing, but she had an idea that I could just borrow her old swimsuit that at the time had a blow-up ring attached to the waist of it. So I put the swimming suit on with the attachable ring and we went to the swim. The pool felt amazing on our skin, but after a while swimming around just wasn't cutting it for us. Jamie came up with this idea that we should do tricks up the ladder into the pool that she had just learned from her older sister. Me never doing tricks before, asked her to show me how. So this game began that we would jump into the water and see who could do better tricks. So a couple of rounds went on and it began to become a competition to us. In the next round, Jamie said we should do back flips into the pool. I thought it was a great idea and asked her to show me how. She did, and did it very well, and I knew I had to do the same in order to beat her. So I got up on the ladder with confidence and began to flip upside down. But as I started to flip into the water, I didn't make it all around and instead went head first into the water. Now, normally you would come right back up, but I forgot I had this floaty on, which soon became the worst idea ever. All of a sudden, I hit the water, and I flipped right upside down, my top half going underwater and my bottom half in the air. My body hit the water so hard, I nearly blacked out. I began to gasp underwater for air, but instead was choking on it. I could hardly breathe with the air left in my lungs, and it was so painful and scary, I didn't know what was happening. I could hear Jamie yelling for her mom to hurry and help, that Cassie is hurt. Her mom ran outside the screen door with her clothes still on and jumped in the pool. She later on told me she thought I was already dead because she had no idea how long I had been underwater because she didn't know we were swimming in the first place. Next thing I know, I wake up on the Chapman's picnic table to Mary pumping my chest as hard as she could as water came out and must have swallowed too much. Mary was crying when I woke up. For a few seconds, I had no idea what even happened, but she later told my mom that I was unconscious when she pulled me out of the pool, and she thanked God she took that CPR class prior to first getting the pool. That summer day was the scariest thing I'd ever experienced in my life, and it definitely was the closest thing I'd ever come to dying. I learned my lesson that day, and I think Jamie did too. I think it's better.